Hi, my name is Marlon Cook, and as you can see, my channel is Fishing with Marlon. Well, the origin of this channel is going to be, like the title sounds, fishing and hunting as well. But today, the topic of this video is going to be my 5 favorite fishing lures to fish. So, starting off at number 1 is going to be just a classic trick worms. So, I like to fish the white trick worm just because it's very visible in the water. I like to fish the pink trick worm as well because it's very visible in the water. I've gotten a lot of bites throwing trick worms around weeds just because it like goes side to side depending on how you work it. I like to fish the black during muddy water, and I like to fish the black and red cure during clean water as well, just because the red shines in the water and the bass just can't resist it. So going along with the worm category, still at number 1, I'm gonna talk about Yum Dingers. These were one of the first actually soft plastic worms that I started to throw. I like throwing the 5-inch as well as the 6-inch, but I like throwing this color right here because the chartreuse tail just lights the bass up because it's very visible in the water. And I like throwing baby bass because it's got this white side which is visible, and it's got this green side which makes it natural as well. So moving on to number 2, my second favorite fishing lure that I would throw would be a frog. So I like to throw white frog for when the clouds are out and stuff. You want to throw a lighter belly, so I throw this Booyah Pag Crusher. I like to throw this Terminator Popping Frog. I just like to throw a lot of frogs. I like to throw them. Depending on the color that I throw, depends on the weather. I like to throw this Poppin' Perch because it walks very well and attracts a lot of bass on the top of the surface. And I like to throw this other Booyah Pag Crusher because of the kind of shad color as well. I really need to trim that skirt, but I haven't done it yet. So, moving on to my number 3 favorite fishing lures would be square bill crankbaits. I like to throw square bill crankbaits because I like to feel when the fish actually grab onto the bait, because you stop reeling and then you realize it's a fish, so you just hook set, right? I like those square bill crankbaits, kind of pushed up shallow, but not really too much to where you get hung on much. Crankbaits are very versatile baits. I like throwing crankbaits in ponds, which I mostly fish lakes, but I like throwing crankbaits in ponds as well. Silent crankbaits are best to throw when the bass are finicky, though. You don't really want to throw one with a rattle when the bass are finicky when it's wintertime and stuff. And during the wintertime, you probably want to throw a lipless crankbait anyway. But going along with the crankbait category, still at number 3, during the summertime when it gets hot and the bass start to push up deep, you really want to throw a deep diving crankbait to get down there to those fish, those big berthas that are pushed up down there on those points. That's where you're going to catch most of your fish at. Or, coming in at number 4, you can also catch most of your fish on a jig throwing down off of points, because during the summertime it's super hot and the water starts to warm up and the fish start to get hot, so they move out deeper into colder water. So during the summertime you want to fish deeper, so I would recommend throwing something that is on the bottom, either a deep diving crankbait or a jig or something, or a shaky head, something that's going to get down there. Speaking of a shaky head, coming in at lure number 5, we got a shaky head, and I love to throw this bait just because when you throw it on rocks and structure like that and flat ground that's down below the surface, it's actually very well, because that tail just sticks up and you just pull it, drag it, or pop it across the bottom and the bass just can't resist it. This has been my 5 favorite fishing lures. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, but until then, keep fishing, guys.